Morning. Good morning. Actually, it's afternoon. I'm going for an afternoon walk today. It is a glorious fall day. Welcome to my channel, Present Moment Magic. My name's Kelly Bowker, and I'm a spiritual mentor, a channel, and a light language worker. I no longer do mediumship. It's a whole story that I might share on another video. I've shared little bits of it. But today I want to talk about imagination. I was blessed this past Sunday to do a live event with a young man whose podcast is called Your Superior Self. And he is just lovely. He is just a wonderful, wonderful fellow. And so Sunday morning, we got together and did this live event. And it was so, so cool. And what is really neat about doing this is that when people ask questions of my guides, I feel the movement of energy as the right combination gathers to bring through the answer. And his questions were so, he did a great job at pinpointing them, and just it brought through wonderful, wonderful energy. But one of the things that it brought through that was just incredible was my guides talking about imagination. And they brought it through in a way that I don't think I've ever heard before. And it was just remarkable and wonderful and eye-opening, because I had started the interview with telling him about the new process that my guides have been giving me called the sandbox process. And just to quickly recap, it's something comes into your experience that you're not crazy about, some reality comes into your experience, and I picture myself at the top of a great big castle with a moat all the way around me, and all the yucky stuff goes into that moat. So I just, whatever it is, I just throw it down into the moat, and then with my energy I jump over the moat into whatever sandbox I want to play in. And I described all kinds of sandboxes, and one of my favorite that I've been playing in a lot recently has my unicorn. And I have a beautiful unicorn that has magical, magical hair, a magical tail of light and stars and just beautifulness. And I even picture myself patting her beautiful neck. And I spend time. And when your energy is down and you start fantasizing and playing in your imagination that way, it raises your frequency. And all of us who are on this journey know that it's all about raising your frequency. It's all about the present moment. Where are we vibrating? Because that's going to create what we're going to get next, right? We all know that. It's the law of attraction. So we were talking, Kelly was talking with Trey, and then he asked a question that made me want to bring in the guides for some support in answering the question. And so I did. And they started to talk about how humans use imagination all the time. Think about the last time that you went into a flurry of worry. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, you know, somebody's late getting home. Oh my goodness, they're probably in a car accident. Oh my gosh, the cops probably going to come to the door, and oh, what would I do? And what would I do without them? And oh my God, my life is going to fall apart. That is imagination. That is imagination for bad, because you can also sit and fantasize a beautiful scenario of, oh my goodness, I wonder what fun thing is holding them up. Maybe they met someone that they knew and they're sharing a laugh, or maybe they're having a grand time. Maybe they won the lottery and they're having time taking pictures because they won the lottery, or, you know, all of these kinds of things. You can fantasize that just as easy. And one of the things that came out in this interview was, think about when we're kids. I know for myself, I used to get yelled at all the time in school because my head was in the clouds. We beat the fantasy out of our children. Get your head out of the clouds. Pay attention. If you don't settle down to real life, you're never going to have anything. Life is all about hard work. If you want anything in this world, you got to go out and work for it. You know, we drum that into our kids. But when we say those negative things, that resonates a lot more familiar than when I'm talking about patting my unicorn. When I talk about flying into the stars on the back of my unicorn, people are like in their heads going, "Oh, really? Isn't that something?" I'm sure there's no way it would be so human for you to have that thought of it. Isn't that silly? But isn't it the same thing? And what is really cool is when you stop and think about what those fantasies create. We've all had friends who was so jealous and so in their heads thinking that their husband was having an affair that they ended up creating that because they badgered and badgered and badgered the person to the point of no return. I've known people that that's happened with. So somebody, through their fear, through their imagination, pretended the worst for long enough that finally it created that circumstance in their life. We see the creative power of imagination all the time. The ulcers, the heart attacks. I'm sorry about that, son. The physical ailments, the anxiety disorders, all of that kind of stuff. That all is, bottom line, a manifestation directly correlated to the imagination in the form of worry. But when we talk about that, it's like that's a commonplace thing. Everybody worries. Well, how about everybody stop practicing playing with their unicorn or whatever else it is? Think about the sandbox that feels the best for you. This morning, I designed one that had just mounds and mounds of $100 bills, and I'm playing with these $100 bills, and I'm playing on my phone, ordering things from Amazon. It's just fun. It's just fun. What would you buy if you had a whole sandbox full of $100 bills? What would you buy? And let yourself really sink into the energy of it and the fun of it. I've shared on here before that one of my sandboxes has me meeting Oprah. And I got thinking about it recently because I also shared that I had a very, very real dream that I met her, and it was awesome. What is the difference between that dream and what it felt like to wake up I was basking in the awesomeness of it, or actually meeting her? It's like, if you can feel that feeling of the joy and the wonder and the fun of stepping onto your yacht and seeing the shiny teak woodwork and the people standing there that are going to wait on you while you're on your voyage, feel what it feels like to do that. And who knows what could happen, because we certainly see the manifestations of worry all the time. And now it's time to practice the manifestations of fantasy, of picturing that fun thing that we want to have happen. It was just an incredible knowing and clarity that came to me. It's stuff that I've known. I think I've known it, but it was the first time that it was brought through to me in such a black and white way. And it just made so much sense. It just made so much sense. So I invite you all to use your imaginations. I asked myself today, what is my guidance for how I spend my time? Because I've got time on my hands right now for just things that kind of in a lull. I haven't started a book yet. I haven't got any big projects going with my YouTube stuff. I've got some things in the back of my mind, but nothing's come to fruition yet. I'm kind of in between things right now. And I'm like feeling guilty because I don't know, but I have definitely got this sense of unrest, or like I should be accomplishing something. Oh my God. Anytime a sentence has the word should in it, throw it out the damn window. But so that was feeling off to me. So I asked myself, what is your guidance? What is your barometer or measuring of how you're going to do something? And I thought, And then, of course, they were in the back of my mind saying, now think about it, practice what you preach. So what is the guidance that the guides have given us of how to make a judgment, if there's such a thing as a judgment, which there shouldn't be, of the present moment. It's like, are you breathing? Are you receiving? Are you receiving the gifts of the moment? Are you feeling the air on your face and seeing the gorgeous blue skies and the beautiful, beautiful leaves, the autumn leaves that are falling in front of me and behind me? Those are gifts. Are you settling into the gifts and feeling them and reveling in them? That's the only thing we need to be fretting about. And we shouldn't be fretting about anything, I don't mean that word, but that's what our guides, all of our guides, are calling us to. That state of beingness where we have everything right in our present moment to give us everything that we need and want, and that we can settle into that energy and just let it roll. And when I was kind of going in circles a little while ago, the thought I started to sit down at my computer to do this video. And then I had the thought, why don't you go for a walk? It's a beautiful day. And I asked my inner child, would you like to go for a walk, sweetheart? And I felt a jumping up and down and a yes, 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 yes. And I was like, yeah, that's right. That relationship that we are working on together, you guys, cultivating that beautiful relationship between us and our inner child, us and me. Don't forget that. That is super, super important. So I think I'm going to let you go for now. I pray blessings for all of you. If you like my content, please subscribe. That would be great. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.